Let's check out this Stop Asian Hate PSA by the Outstanding Filipinos in America featuring Easy Mill. I do a lot of Easy Mill videos. I was asked to do this, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Link to the original list is down in the description box. Let's just dive on into this thing, baby. Let's go.
We all know the violent acts that have been targeted against Filipino seniors, Noel Quintana and Vilma Cari. There is no doubt that their race was their face.
When I was slashed inside the train, I cried for help but nobody helped me. So I was a victim twice. First, by the person who slashed my face, and secondly, by the people who just watched me.
I'm the daughter of Vilma Cari, the woman who was attacked while walking to church near Times Square simply for being Asian. I ask that we share the sense of community with one another.
I'm really dismayed with all...
No, people are just so ugly. I mean, people use events or situations or whatever the case may be as an excuse to just hurt other people. I mean, I guess there are your people out there who really think they're actually doing something good or doing the right thing or protecting their country or whatever. How crazy as crazy as that sounds, I mean, but I think for the majority, people are just bad. There's a lot of just bad people out there that just use horrible events or whatever or situation or a pandemic to just hurt other people just because they want to. And that's their excuse for doing it. It makes no sense to me. 9/11, perfect example. After 9/11, Muslims were just getting attacked just for being Muslim and had nothing to do with this situation. And again, some people probably think they were doing the right thing, as crazy as that is. But I think a lot of people just use it as an excuse to just hurt people. I mean, oh man, some people are just bad. You know what I'm saying? Or were brought up wrong, or whatever the case may be. People are just bad, man. I don't get it. I was not raised that way. I can never wrap my head around somebody else hurting somebody else just because. It doesn't make any sense to me. Let's go.
The woman who was attacked while walking to church near Times Square simply for being Asian. I ask that we share the sense of community with one another.
I'm really dismayed with all the hate crimes that are going on right now against Asian Americans.
When the economy is in trouble in the United States and millions of Americans are out of work, people who look different from the white majority become the scapegoats of that period.
Well, we know that racism against the Asian community long predates the pandemic.
It happened in 1882 with the Chinese Exclusion Act, after Chinese from China helped build the Intercontinental Railroad.
Hatred against the Asian community is
history
hatred
lesson
against humanity.
It happened in February 1942, 2 months after Pearl Harbor, when the 120,000 Japanese Americans were placed in concentration camps right here in the United States simply because they are...
See, people that had nothing to do with it. Just because of your race or your culture or whatever, or just because, in this case, because you're Asian, you got treated a certain... man. And that's the thing, too. It still goes on. As far back as they're talking, till this day, it still hasn't changed. Let's go.
Of Japanese ancestry.
So it breaks my heart to see all of the violent crimes being committed against the Asian American people.
It happened to Filipino farmers in 1930 in Watsonville, California, when there was 5 days of race riots directed after Filipino farmers and resulting in several injured Filipinos and a Filipino farm worker shot to death.
It's just not
Wow.
right. And I hate the fact that now I feel afraid, not only for myself, but for my family, and especially for my children.
And now, the violence against Asian Americans in general and Filipino Americans in particular, it was initiated by the former president when he started calling this deadly pandemic Kung Flu or China virus.
我不是病毒，
Wow.
更
Yep.
不是你发泄不满与愤怒的工具，请停止一切形式的仇恨行为。
We are not a virus. Racism is a virus. We are human beings. You stop all forms of hate and violence against all people. We'll no longer remain silent.
Let us not just start the conversation, let us start the motion. For hate stems from fear.
We need to report any injustices that are inflicted upon our community.
Yeah, and real quick, this video only has like, I think like 11,000, 12, maybe 12,000 views on it. Why? I'd like to know that question, to be honest. Why does something like this not get the recognition it should get? Let's go.
Because no one can tell us that we are less or that we do not belong here.
We call on all Americans to speak out strongly against this rising tide of hatred and bigotry. Asian Americans have been a vital part of this nation's history, and they belong here just as much as everybody else who have come from foreign shores and call America their home.
This is our home, too. We deserve to be safe in our communities as we ride the subway, walk to church, walk our dogs, take our children to the park. No matter your country of origin, your native tongue, your immigration status, your age, your gender, or your economic background, we belong here.
My mom Vilma belongs, I belong, we all belong.
It is so important for us to support each other and have each other's backs. And it's also so important for us to stand in solidarity with other communities of color as we all fight against white supremacy and systemic racism.
For long term, we have to teach our children that hate is corrosive of the spirit, that hate destroys the soul of America.
And we are not alone. Our allies stand with us in solidarity and in unity. As we continue to raise our voices to keep public attention focused on stopping this scourge of hate, we must all remain vigilant and look out for each other's safety and well-being.
And I hope you'll join me in taking a stand against anti-Asian violence and prejudice.
I urge all Filipino Americans to be vigilant and to learn how to document and de-escalate hate crimes as recommended by NYPD.
Let's call on elected officials to provide funding and resources to the Asian American community to help combat this violence and hatred.
Let's mobilize together. Stop Asian racist attack. Filipino lives matter.
And to the non-Asians watching, I implore you to do your part to stop anti-Asian hate. Stop attacks as you see them. Call out anti-Asian racism, even if there are no API folks in the room.
And to our white allies, I want to inspire you to dig deeper because we need more.
Assure your API friends that you will help keep them safe.
Let's all unite together and stop racism.
Let's stand up, show up, and speak up against Asian American hate.
Stop Asian American and Pacific Islander hate.
Let us all stop Asian hate crimes.
Please stop the hate.
Stop. Just stop the hate.
And no matter who are around you, the choice is always clear. Always choose love.
So in the end, the true answer is
easier said than done. Like I was saying earlier, some people are just bad people and they look for any excuse to hurt other people. I mean, I was thankfully brought up different. You know what I mean? Some people were either brought up that way or just weren't brought up that way and just chose their own destructive path. But I was lucky enough to be brought up the right way. And, you know, I try to do my part the best that I can. Let's go.
And no matter who are around you, the choice is always clear. Always choose love.
So in the end, the true answer is love of neighbor.
Lord Father God, forgive me, for I'm explained too vividly. have enough patience as it is to tell y'all how it's going down for account with the lives.
This is completely unexpected. I am not going to lie. I thought he was just going to speak. I didn't think we were actually going to get some bars from the man. Let's go. Pay attention.
Before I'm explain too vividly. I don't have enough patience as it is to tell y'all how it's going down for account with the lives lost in this amount. And now I'm a boss, I'ma make a route. Going on toes, making all you shout. Training you perfectly to send all the higher ups an unforgettable message, but surgically making me pick apart what they want. Cause what if it's murdering me? Cause there's an incredibly high of a chance for it to be meant that I die in a dance. Just cause I vent and I cry for my friends and family members. Man, try to Asian hate in front of me, I won't even speak. I'll clock you in your place a little young and you bugging. I'm never letting that agency slide unless I'm seeing you die right in front of my eyes. Now both of our families are victims now because of our pride. And what should exist that just died. Go and hurt one of my people cause I'm messing you up. Go and hurt one of my sisters here, I'm messing you up. Go and hurt me and my brothers, man, we messing you up. Asian hate, yeah, we messing you up.
Yeah, I wasn't going to pause during that. I was going to let my man rock out. Fuck what you heard. I was not pausing that. I was not interrupting my man's flow. I was going to let him rock out. Now, like I said, this only has 12,000 views on it. Ridiculous. Because, and I'm actually guilty of this. You don't know how bad something is until you actually see it. You know what I mean? Or hear from people who are victims of it. So, as crazy as it may sound, some people might not know how bad it really is. You know what I'm saying? So a video like this should be spread around more. More people should see it. More people like me should see it. Bottom line is, this video should be seen by a lot more people. And get this out to a lot more people. You know what I mean? So share it, spread it, whatever you got to do, put it out there. Link to the results down in the description box. I'm out.